Hello out there, YouTube. What's going on, everyone? It's D-Dunn here. I am the Average Gaming Dad, and we are back again. It's been 3 or 4 days since our last MLB The Show stream. I am pretty excited because this is always one of my favorite episodes to record. And, whenever I'm watching content as well, it's always one of my favorite episodes to watch for other content creators, which is the draft and the trade deadline. So, right now, I got about 3 hours, I think, to get these games or this all in, which I think we should. Let me just get everything pulled up on my phone so we can monitor any chat activity. All right. I think we're all set here. All right. So, this is kind of where we're at. We're 40-45. Obviously, we're still contenders in the division. We're obviously still contenders in the wild card, as we are only 3.5 games back. Last year, before we went on our amazing playoff run, we started around this time at like 6 games back. So we're in a better position than we were last year. We have some good pieces, but we do have some tough decisions to make heading into the trade deadline. And so let's cover those first. So right now, the team is still kind of lacking power, but we have enough offense. We got some guys that are hitting, in the high 270s and around 250, which isn't great, but a standout here, and I think someone that we need to look at as a trade candidate is Stone Garrett. Okay, he's 33 years old, and he's having a really bad year. If we look back, his average, his slugging, his OPS, everything across the board is down from previous years. In fact, it looks like this would actually be a career low for him. He is 33 years of age. Defense is solid, but his big job is to crush lefties, and right now he's not hitting anyone. Average of 226, slugging only 340. He only has 5 home runs so far this year, and he's a negative WAR player. So he's definitely a candidate, and unfortunately, and this is something that breaks my heart, but all the way down here is John Means, who is regressing rapidly in every category. He's down to a 78 overall, and he is having the worst year of almost one of the worst years of his career as well. You have to go all the way back to 2020. Keep in mind, we are in the year 2029, so 9 years ago was the last time he was playing this bad. The whip is still in an okay spot, but the ERA is inflated. And if we go to his recent games, in his last 10 starts, he's given up 10 home runs. You see, and I think 2 or 3 of those, in 3 of those last 10 starts, he's given up multi-home run games. It's just not good. Like, his whole thing is, not giving up base runners and not giving up hits. And he's not doing either of those things well. When he's getting hit, he's getting it hard. The problem is we just paid him $24 million. So the contract on that is going to be sizable. So we would probably have to package him with others in order to make that more enticing. And so we'll see. A Stone Garrett probably still has some value. He is 33, yes, but he's not regressing. He's just having a down year. And so I think we can probably find a place for him and then maybe use that with maybe like one of our better prospects to kind of throw in a John Means to kind of get the deal across the finish line. But we're still a month out from the trade deadline, as we are in the month of July. So first things first, we got to get to the MLB draft. Then we'll see who our all-stars are. And then as we get close to the trade deadline, I do actually have someone in mind. Before I fired up the stream, I was looking around the league at some teams that are struggling and some opportunities for us to pick up some players. And I have a guy in mind. We just have to see if he continues to play well throughout these next few weeks and see if maybe John Means can pick it up So with that, we're going to scroll over here. We are going to sim. I guess we still have one more week of scouting. So we'll do that. We'll play any moments that comes up. And right on cue, here is a moment. It is the top of the 11th, 2 outs, and game tied. Jazz at the plate. And Jazz needs a triple to hit for the cycle, but apparently we're not here to play for the win. We're playing here for Jazz. I'm going to hop in anyway, even though I don't like to play. I don't typically play the player moments that are for like, you know, a 3 home run game or hitting for the cycle. But this is actually a big opportunity for us to get a win here against the Mets. Facing off against Roddery Munoz. I'm not concerned about the triple. I'm more concerned about getting Stone Garrett at second home. Jazz is another player as well that's kind of having not necessarily a bad year, but especially compared to last year, it's definitely a down year. Last year, I thought he was having that actual like huge breakout year and becoming like a true superstar. But he has just not followed it up this year with a memorable performance. That's a slider right down the middle. We don't get to see the timing, but it felt like the timing was good. We got served one up on a platter and couldn't do anything. So now we're still locked in with Jazz. Looks like the run will not score, but with only 2 outs, or with no outs, we'll see if Cade Smith can clutch up. It's a lazy fly ball. Roman in center is able to grab that and make the throw home in time, so the runner does not advance. That is 1 out. And if we can somehow pull off a double play here with a ground ball, we can end this inning. That should be the sacrifice fly that the Mets need. We don't get the relay throw home in time. Mets win. Kind of weird that we would have a player lock moment for Jazz there instead of just playing for the win, but it is what it is. Good day offensively for the team. 9 hits, 8 runs, but pitching just wasn't where it needed to be. Who was the start? Bryce Wilson, only 4 2/3, gave up 5. Not a good game for him. Gibbet comes in, gives up 2, and then, of course, Cade Smith does not get the save. All right, another high leverage moment. We're down by 1 here in the bottom of the 9th. A chance to tie or potentially walk it off. And with a runner on, Tristan Casas, one of our best power hitters. This could be a 1 swing of the bat moment to win the game. And that's going to be a double play. Casas is slow as all hell. We get a slider hanging up in the zone. I mean, that's about as good as a pitch as you can get to blast a home run. And instead, he beats it into the ground. And now Jose Azocar, who is in the game for some reason. Playing left looked like someone getting the day off.
Down low.
And now we're going to need him to get on base for us to have a chance. He does hit lefty, or he does hit righties pretty well, so definitely an opportunity here. Cutter outside of the zone. Hit fairly well, but that is it. The Jays are going to win this one. Noah Schultz, not bad. 5 innings, 2 earned, and Pache gives up a run. Close ball game, but had our opportunity with one of our best hitters up at the plate, and he couldn't get the job done. Unfortunate. We're going to need Casas to really come up and make some get our offense going in some way. Our last opportunity for scouting here. So, wow. Antoine Gunn from my home state of Missouri, 6'5", 195. Obviously, the potential is not good, but that hit per 9 is kind of out of control. Great stamina, good defense. Has some good pitches. Maybe a guy we take a chance on late. I want to try and identify another closer. Tapia looks pretty nice. We'll take a look at him. Brad Gold, what a name. Looks to be decent. If we could land, hopefully the high end of that potential. It looks like he's probably high 60s, like low 70s overall to start. He could definitely be a good depth piece and potentially someone who could see some major league time. We spent a lot of time focusing on some of these guys, on some guys in the outfield. Just trying to find someone at the very least that has, some good potential. And Jesse Graham, maybe. He would definitely be probably a long-term project, but we'll take a look at him with our last week. Try and identify some pitchers as well. Last week of scouting is going to be in the books. And we are going to sim to the draft. But first, our last game here versus the Blue Jays. Again, down by 1. Got a player on. We can tie or walk it off. This is a good guy to do it. Facing off against Bruzdar Gratterall. And that is a pass ball, which is going to help us a lot. Because the runner from first now goes to second, and Ruiz has 98 clutch, which means his normal 65 contact versus righties now goes up to 98 with the runner in scoring position. And we're going to take a rip at that cutter. It's fairly high and deep out into center field. We're going to run. Cutoff throw coming in. They don't even try for third. So now the tying run is 90 feet away on third. And once again, why is Jose Azucar in instead of Roman Anthony? I know Roman Anthony's having a tough time at the plate this year, hitting well below 200 now. But I think we're actually going to bring in Garrett Hampson in this spot. He could play center field. He's got plenty of speed and defense. And he has a better clutch rating. He looks like he was having the day off, but not anymore. He's going to get a chance to drive the base runner in, tie the game. A little bloop around to right. That falls. The runner scores. That's an RBI single for Garrett Hampson. And a tie ball game. Now we got Now we got an out to work with, and hopefully Tristan Casas can now get Hampson from second to home. Hampson obviously with electric speed, even now over 30 years of age. Yeah, Casas only hitting 184 with runners in scoring position. He's our big power bat. We cannot have that. Swings over the top of a sinker. And the count is now even at 2-2. Jazz as well. We just can't have our two best power hitters hitting under 200 with runners in scoring position. Casas is going to take a walk. And they're going to pull Gratterall. Instead, we will see as my controller disconnected. I'm actually going to pull the plug on this. All right. Sweeper just gets a piece. .92 right over the plate. Jazz just a bit early on it. Fouls it back. 0-2. Just anything but the inning-ending double play. Jazz goes down flailing at a changeup. Good pitch. Villar is going to ground out to second. We do tie the game, though. We'll play another inning or so. Iriarte. Wow. So our bullpen is absolutely tapped. We got Hagen Smith and Cade Smith.
That missed. That's a ball.
And I'm okay with Iriarte in there right now. He's going to get the first out. What is Iriarte's pitching clutch? 65. Versus Anthony Santander. I think we are going to go ahead and go with the intentional walk here. Yeah. Way better here versus Brandon Valenzuela. Jesus. So we're going to try and get a little ground ball action. Hopefully get a double play and get out of this, or a punch out. Quickly 0-2. And we got him. Valenzuela goes down looking. Disaster for the Blue Jays. And now hopefully against Andrew Vaughn, former White Sox, having a really terrible year with the Blue Jays. And he is going to give us the final out. So we are headed to the bottom of the 10th. If we're not able to get the walk-off here. Only 49 speed from Villar. And I think we will actually pinch run. Put Brian Ramos in. Almost double the speed of Villar. And Stone Garrett, a guy that's on the chopping block, just not performing nearly as well as we need him to, and having a career bad year. This would be a great opportunity for him to show us that he still deserves to be on this team. Hanging sweeper, but we're late on it. Another hanging sweeper in the zone. Early, but you can still make contact on early.
1-0.
Stone, I think, he's just reached that point in his career at 33. He's just starting to fall off. Montgomery gets a rip into this one, though. We can run on that. Ramos kind of stutter steps, but we still get to third. And why is Henry Davis in? Yeah, Kyle Teal's going to have to come in. He just has the better clutch rating. We just need a single. Fastball low in the zone. We're out in front. Ripped foul. And unfortunately find ourselves in an 0-2 spot.
No, that's it.
And that's going to win it. Kyle Teal with an RBI single. We walk it off. And that's a great win. We need every one of these that we can get. Iriarte did great. Working out of the pin. We got some clutch hitting. And we did just enough. 11 hits on the day, only 6 runs off those 11 hits. But that was good enough. So we take the series versus Toronto. A lot of close games so far. Wow. Another tight moment. All right, so we are down 1. We've already scored 1 in the 9th. No outs. And looking for a tie or a walk-off. And our hero of last game, Kyle Teal, facing off against Porter Hodge. Got a fastball, sweeper, and splitter.
That's a ball.
Big sweeper there.
Counts 1-0.
Tries to go front door with it. That one is going to get through. That's another clutch hit for Kyle Teal. Not hit well, not hit hard, but hit where they ain't. And that's sometimes all you got to do. Sometimes you just got to hit the ball where they are not. And now Roman Anthony.
Aye. 0-1.
Good timing, fastball. Well in the zone. Just can't get a piece. I think with Roman Anthony in this spot, we're going to have to go contact swing. We just need him to put the ball in play.
Ball, that's in.
We gave up a lot for this kid.
Ball 2.
Also, ironically enough, he got the call up today in real life. He is the #1 prospect in all of baseball in real life now. Maybe not so much in the game, but put some good wit on this one. High and deep into right. The dogs are going crazy. But that is good enough to advance the runner over to third. And that's a job well done.
Ball 1, no strike.
And now we just need Stone Garrett to find it in himself, to channel some youth in his career.
Yeah.
Swings through the splitter.
Ball 1 strike. Ball, that's out.
That one get past the catcher, but runner from first does not advance. And we can really keyhole here at 3-1.
Hey.
That one pretty tight inside. And that one, high and deep to center. We're going to run on it. No real play at the plate. Sacrifice fly for Stone Garrett. And we got a tie ball game. That works. That works. Reds are going to send out Jeff Hendricks. Not having a great year. 5.12 ERA in 51 innings. All he needs, though, is one more out to send it into extras. Tried to turn on that inside fastball. Good timing. But Garrett Hampson just can't get the barrel to the bat, or to the ball. I imagine we're going to see the splitter here. Nope.
That's inside.
So far, all fastballs from Hendricks. And that one is ground out to first. We did our job. We came in the moment. We got the game tied. It's going to head to extras. We played our moment. We did what we needed to do. And Jazz hits a two-run homer to walk it off. Our new call-up, playing out of the pen, Marcelo Mesa, the rookie. One of 3 rookies working out of the pen right now. He goes 3 innings without allowing a run. And Ruiz goes 3 for 4 with a double and 2 ribbies. Okay. So another really close win, as we are only a few days away from draft day. We will try and sim there. And it looks like the trade are already starting. The Marlins acquire Munoz from the Cubs. Andres Munoz, a closing pitcher. They get, looks like a collection of prospects, a reliever, a closer, and a shortstop. And we have our own moment here. Playing in our City Connects. We are down by 1 again in the 9th. Garrett Hampson at the plate with 1 out. Roman Anthony, who has plenty of speed, is on second. Cardinals, second on-base percentage in the league. Okay. Let's see if we can get another tie ball game against Matt Brash here. Fastball up in the zone. Unfortunately, too shallow into left. It is caught. And Roman Anthony cannot get from second to third. Now it comes down to Colson Montgomery, who had a breakout year by his standards last year, but has kind of fallen back into his normal, 220 range. The dogs once again going crazy, trying to hype him up.
I got a ball, 1 strike. Ball inside.
Okay. Working a pretty nice at bat so far, ahead in the count 2-1. Great take there.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Really well located. Nothing you can do with that pitch, and we get lucky with the call. It's 3-1. We can keyhole here. I thought that slider was going to hang up. We take a rip. Would have been strike 2 either way, most likely. And a fastball right down the middle. That is caught. And we are unable to tie the game. Scored all 4 of our runs in the third, nothing after that. Casas does go 2 for 4 with a home run, his 10th of the year. Keep in mind he was injured for a month, so his numbers are not going to be as high. Noah Schultz gives up 3 across 5 2/3. Gibbet gives up 1 as well in a minute. I mean, that's not bad. But we got to get our offense going. We need a spark. Nothing. I just don't know if you're going to like that milk. I don't think so. It's buttermilk. You can try it. My daughter just poured a bowl of cereal and she used buttermilk. Yeah, no. There's leftover pizza in the oven, though. All right, still trying to get to draft day. Here we go. We have finally made it to draft day. We lost the series versus the Mets, 1 versus Toronto, and Cincy. And Mason Miller, one of my favorite players in the game right now. Looks like he has moved from the A's to the Tigers and now to the Marlins. In exchange for a couple prospects, shortstop Jefferson Rojas and third baseman Antonio Anderson. All right, so who do we want in this draft? Let's see who we scouted. I mean, the closers always look amazing. And if we can get Kenny Taylor at that 58 spot, that would be a big win. He looks great. Okay. So either one of these closers would be good. But who of these fielders do we like? I think we'll just go ahead and add them all. And just make a decision. Once we actually get in the draft. Let's look for some starting pitchers. I mean, this guy looks absolutely insane. Not even going to lie about it. I'd be shocked if he wasn't the #1 overall, although Ron Garrison looks pretty amazing as well. Both of them 21 years old. I'm not exactly sure why Brady Pierce fell all the way down from 20. It was at 25th. We have him at 4th, so he could actually fall to us. Same way with Enrique Santos, although the hit per 9 is not very good. We like guys that have high hit per nine, high walk per nine. That's kind of our vibe. Those pitch to contact kind of pitchers. And then, of course, the closers, we'll add those. All right, 39, 46, 48, 53, 54, 64, 24. Just move these around so that they're in relative order. We don't pick until 30. Coming off, obviously, the World Series win. Let's go ahead and get started. I imagine those two starting pitchers are going to go 1-2, and there it is. Ron Garrison is going to go number 1. He looked amazing. And, oh, look, we didn't have our Alberto Bonilla. We had him at 10. MLB had him at 3. He goes at 2. And the number 3 pick that they're highlighting here is Dick Tucker. What a name. What a name. Dick Tucker is the number 3 pick in the MLB draft. I cannot with these names, bro. Dick Tucker. Only 5'11". Not a particularly big Dick Tucker over here. Kind of a short king. Little Dick Tucker. Oh, man. All right. What a name. There's Devin Corbett, who was the number 1 ranked player in the draft. He goes at number 6 to the Rays, so they already have the best pitching staff in the league. It looks like that will likely continue, as they do a great job at drafting as well. We really needed some outfield depth. I'm not super excited, to be fair, about any of these outfield prospects. Like, nothing really jumps off the page to me. But it is kind of our draft philosophy to try and get position players first, as they are harder to find value down the board. Jesse Graham, who we had him at 24. He goes at 11. So one of the few guys that actually looked somewhat exciting, had some high potential. He goes as you can see, all the players that we have drafted, all the pitchers are technically our best available. We also spent, weeks trying to discover a prospect and just couldn't find anyone. All right, so we're getting close. Brady Pierce, we have him at number 4. He still has yet to go. Looks like he's going to have really high potential. Good hit per 9, good walk per 9. The curveball looks filthy. Great stamina as well. Enrique Santos, we have him at 5. Also looks like he'll have great potential. Good walk per 9, but the hit per 9 is a little low, so I think I'd rather go with Pierce given the choice. Dylan Chesick, probably 3rd. Great walk per 9, but everything else kind of sucks. And then Rich Daly, more balanced across the board. Then we got a closer, Juan Tapia. Kenny Taylor. Kenny Taylor looks fantastic. 6'5", 211, big lefty. Maybe not elite potential, but certainly likely B potential. He could be great coming out of the pen. And then as far as position players go, we got Reggie Ekstrom. Again, just nothing super exciting there. Elliott Hyde, he's got defense. He's got great contact versus lefties. But it's just none of these guys really have like that upper echelon potential that you get really excited about. Brad Gold, great name. Average defense, good contact skills. Phil Landis, probably the best potential out of the bunch out of Australia. And then Shane Akweha. We have him at 112. So definitely not going to be our first pick, but we got to decide. We got 4 minutes on the clock. We got a number of really good pitchers to choose from, or we can hope that some of these other outfielders fall. None of these guys are even projected to have A potential, which I feel like is just, except for Landis, who's all the way down at 54. He'd be a long-term project. So I think we will actually go pitcher. All right, so we got Cabral from Puerto Rico. He looks very well balanced. Dylan Chesick is definitely like the good walk per nine, but everything else kind of sucks, but likely has really good potential. Rich Daly. Or we could go closer. Kenny Taylor's great, but we're kind of hoping he falls. Maybe we can get him at that 58 spot, I suppose. And I think it will be Alexis Cabral from Puerto Rico. Pretty even across the board. The hit per nine and walk per nine is higher than the rest. This is kind of what we go for. Stamina, not ideal, but we have him at number 9. We're picking at 30. It technically would be, a steal. So we'll just take best player available. Alexis Cabral is going to be our first round pick at number 30th overall, 18 years old, right out of high school. Maybe a long-term project. We'll see. But we will go ahead and send him to our next pick all the way down at 58. And so we still have Rich Daly from my home state of Missouri. So we could go back-to-back starter. He looks really good. I don't think I would be mad at this pick. We also have Kenny Taylor, a closer I was really excited about. Maybe, again, not that upper echelon potential, but the hit per nine already at 80 plus. That is really, really exciting. A big lefty. Or Dan Fuca, who was a discovered player, so he could still fall even farther. He has really good power, especially versus righties. The defense is not great, and he doesn't have great speed, so he's more of like a DH kind of player. Not exactly what we're looking for, and not great potential. I think we got to go. I think this closer is really our best bet. Just add to the bullpen. We do need youth in the pen. And he looks great. I mean, the hit per nine, right, alone says it all. high 90s fastball. He has a forkball, which is kind of exciting. Kenny Taylor, welcome to the south side of Chicago. We had him at 57. We pick him at 58. So he's right in line with everyone else. Let's take a look at who else we have. Looks like obviously there's going to be plenty of pitchers available. We'll add Juan Guzman. He might be a sneaky pick with that high potential. It's always good to have depth at catcher, something we already have. We'll add Erwin Chavez. Again, just looking for potential for some guys that have potential for potential. That's kind of what we're looking for right now. Some guys that we might be willing to take a chance on farther down the board. I mean, Curtis Carroll has no hitting ability, but that potential's off the charts. Too bad we didn't have any of these guys in the outfield. Rick Conroy is very interesting because he looks like he's probably really good now, but will immediately start to regress because his overall is higher than his potential. If he falls really far in the draft, I would take a shot on him. And a guy like this, like Derek Whitman, his overall is probably like in the 40s. So that's a project player, but like a really, really far project player. I guess if he fell far enough, we would consider it. All right. There is still some closers, which are usually very, very good. They're kind of OP. Carlos Franco looks okay. Velo up to 99 has great potential. All right, so we certainly have some options here. Still have a long time to pick, so let's go ahead and reorder these. And we're likely just going to be taking best player available for us. And even though it doesn't look like we're going to find the outfielder that we were kind of hoping for, there are still some value picks down here in other positions that I think we could feel pretty good about. Like a closer that we take, maybe he lands with a potential. It's a shot in the dark, but you never know. All right, so our top three guys, no surprise, by rank, are all pitchers. I mean, Carlos Franco, he's 23, but it looks like his overall is probably going to be in the 50s or 60s, so he could very well be an A potential. That's actually only a few years until he could see some major league time. We got catcher, a first baseman, a fielder. A fielder I would really like. At 109, I mean, Derek Whitman looks like he is a long, long way off. Like, he is probably, given these numbers, like a 40-something overall. Which means he also probably has really high potential. But Carlos Franco might be the guy. We'll see if he falls to us. He was a discovered player. And then I guess we'll just hope that one of these three position guys is left. I don't know, though. It's going to be the center fielder or a pitcher. At least Derek Whitman, he has super high, he's really young. And that makes me think he probably has high potential. He's just going to be one of those guys that's like a 40, 50-something overall. Has a long way to go. We already picked up one pitcher. McGiggins, also great name. Still not as good as Dick Tucker that we saw. I mean, little Dick Tucker was just a phenomenal name. I can only imagine getting to play with him. Just all the puns you can make. And we have 1 minute left to decide. It's got to be Carlos Franco. Do we go with the older guy, high potential, likely, but is probably closer to MLB ready, or the position player that's a lot farther away from MLB ready, but only 18? Franco is a discovered player. He's already fallen 20 draft spots. I'm going to hope he falls. I'm going to go ahead and take a shot on Derek Whitman. It is a risk, but we really need some quality depth in the outfield. That's what we aimed to do in this draft. We already picked up one starting pitcher, so I think we're going to go Derek Whitman. We have him at 114. We're picking him at 109, so it's not a stretch. And we're going to hope that Franco falls to us in the next round, which he does. So this is a no-brainer. We have him at 84. Almost guaranteed. He has guaranteed B to A potential. Absolute no-brain of a pick. He is just a little older. And 2 more rounds to go. We're just going to have to take best person available. We got a reliever here. Alfonso Valita, we have him at 81. We haven't scouted him at all, but he was a discovered prospect. We do, again, need youth in the pen, so we'll shoot our shot. And then the only thing left is relievers. One starter. We're just strictly looking for potential. Another discovered prospect here, Tom Holland. We have him at 83. He's probably going to be the guy. So we're going to go with another starter. And that's it. That's the end of the draft. Now all we got to do is sign them. The home run derby, we'll skip that as we have no one participating. Let's see. Do we have any All-Stars? Kyle Teal gets the nod after earning World Series MVP last year for us. And hitting 260 with 11 home runs. I mean, for a catcher, that's some good offense. A WAR of 3. Already met his WAR last year. Having a good year by catching standards. Catcher's obviously not known for their offense, but he's putting together a good season. Kind of a little bit of a breakout year for him. He is going to get the nod. That's awesome. All right, so Kyle Teal. Why not? Let's player lock with Kyle Teal in the All-Star game. Let's see what we can do. It's always fun to player lock with a catcher. But that just kind of goes to show you we're kind of having a little bit of a little bit of a slump, coming off the high of a big year, winning the World Series, and we just don't really have it. Showing some good defense there behind the plate. Ronald Acuna, for some reason, is bunting. Probably not the best use of his abilities, but he does advance the runners over. And our first opportunity at the plate versus Christopher Sanchez. Oh, good sinker there. Absolutely dotted. Low and inside. A little early on it, and we swing right through it.
Nope, outside.
Oh my God. Big slider way out of the zone. It gets Kyle Teal absolutely flailing. Top of the fourth. It's Roki Sasaki on the mound this time.
Ball one.
Hopefully we have a better result than our last at-bat, where we looked a little foolish. 2 outs, no one on. I mean, that thing's absolutely blasted, but foul. 101 off the bat. Can't ask for a better pitch. We're just out in front.
Yeah.
Not much you can do with that pitch. Another hanging splitter that we're out in front of.
That's ball 2.
Nice take on the fastball.
2-2 the count.
Just below the zone. And another hanging splitter. We timed this one up. It is high. It is deep out in the center. And it is caught. Gave that one a ride. We hit it hard. We hit it far. But just not quite far enough. All right. We're back behind the plate catching for Cody Bradford. Little pop-up. No problem. Kyle Deal, he is very good defensively. I do notice a lot of pass balls from him for some reason, but his ratings are spectacular. All right, top of the 7th. Probably not going to have too many offensive opportunities facing off against Johan Duran. This one set high and deep out in the opposite field. At the track, at the wall, once again, falls just short of a home run. But swinging the bat well today, we're making hard contact. And another pop-up, literally the exact same play. We register another out, and hopefully we get one more chance at the plate. We do not. But we'll go ahead and lock in here, even if we're not involved. What am I supposed to do here? I guess it doesn't matter. We don't get a chance. Oh, we gotta call the pitches. Okay. We just need a ground ball. Let's get a two-seamer low. Oh my God. It got past us. We're the worst catcher. Okay. How about a two-seamer in on the hands? We suck at catching. Holy. At least that one didn't get past us. All right, we went two-seamer low. We went two-seamer in on the hands. All right. Josh Hader leaves the changeup up, but we get ahead in the count. Let's go. Let's go front door slider here. We got him. Josh Hader gets the punchy. We finally caught the ball, and we get another chance at the plate as this one has gone into extras. Andreas Munoz. Opportunity to be the hero. Give our team the lead in extras. Out in front of the slider. That's a tough take. Absolutely painted on the bottom of the zone. Really close pitch. Uh-oh. Blocks it. Crosshair will turn red to indicate the ball in the dirt. Pull down on the left stick to block the ball. The quicker you react to the red crosshair, the better your catch will block the ball. All right, well, we didn't really get a chance because as soon as the tutorial was over, the ball was already in the dirt. All right. Need a little bit more notice there, MLB The Show. All right, our catching game is not great. And it looks like we got to play at the plate. And I think we got him. Never mind, we're the best defensive catcher in the league. Absolutely hosed at home plate. Locked in, made the tag. Not even close. Oh, God. Now we have to call pitches against Juan Soto. Less than ideal. Okay. And that was not my fault. Steven Wilson left a hanging changeup for one of the best power hitters in the league, and he blasted it. So the NL walks it off with a Juan Soto home run. I would have liked to have contributed more on the offensive end with Kyle Teal. We were combined maybe 10 feet away from having a 2 home run day. Sent one dead center through the wall and caught, and then opposite field hit out into left. That also was caught on the track right in front of the wall. We got a great tag at home plate to save the game. But ultimately, our team loses. Josh Hader, keep the changeup down next time. But it's great that the team has an all-star. Of all players, kind of surprised it's Kyle Teal, but it is what it is. All right, and it's our first day to try and sign some draft picks. No one's really wanting an exorbitant amount of money, but we only have $6.6 million, which not a lot of money, to be fair. So, all right. Carlos Franco, we know the potential is going to be good, so even though he's not scouted very far, we're going to go ahead and offer him. He doesn't want much, and he's going to immediately sign. Okay. 72% for Kenny Taylor. We know he's going to be good. We'll offer him. We'll just offer him what he's asking for. It's slightly above slot value, and he signs. Perfect. Now that gives us an opportunity to spend some time scouting some of these guys that we picked way down the board. Hopefully those potential stays the same. We'll continue to try and get Alexis Cabral, get his motivation to sign up, and see how we do. Okay. Valido, the potential still is as high as 99, which is a great sign. Tom Hahn, maybe. We'll lock it in for another couple days. Split the series so far versus the Dodgers. We're still third in the division, still going to be in the hunt. And Valido, that potential is still not falling below 99. That makes me think that he is going to be like an A+ potential guy. He's only asking 275, so we'll go ahead and offer. He takes that. We'll add Derek Whitman to the board. Still have $4 million to sign our final 3 guys. Could be close. All right, so we take the series versus the Dodgers and take game 1 versus San Diego. We're only 3 games below 500. And we are 3.5 games out of the wild card. So pretty much nothing has changed. Okay, scouting getting farther along. Cabral, he's at 67% to sign. If we offer him what he's asking for, we only have $950K, which is exactly what these guys need. But we do want to obviously get our number 1 draft pick. So we'll offer. He declines. Okay. Still got some time. Mike Diaz down in AA, out for 1 to 2 months. So he'll go on the 60-day. Mike Diaz, that was AA. Must have been a pitcher. It was. So we're going to need another starter in AA. As one of our best prospects, Jaime Rodriguez, is out for another 1 to 2 months still. Mike Diaz out for 1 to 2 months. So the young 19-year-old Greg Marks is going to get a chance at AA. Let's see what the kid can do. At the MLB level, we still got to sign. Cabral, still at that, around that 70% mark. We're going to let it ride for another couple days. 73%. He's 100% scouted. Looks like it's going to be pretty much guaranteed B potential. Probably like a mid-60s overall. Pretty good, I think, for the number 30 pick. And he does sign for $3.2 million. We got our number one guy. Tom Holland has definitely fallen off in terms of the potential. So if we don't sign him, I think that's okay. But so far, Derek Whitman, that center fielder, we'll move him into the number one spot. Try and scout him a little faster. And we are also closing in as we get swept by the Braves and manage to score 4 runs in 3 games. That's not good. So before we do our final draft pick signings, which I think we're going... Oh, I guess I can't offer Whitman yet. He's only at 44%. I think it's time to make a trade. Stone Garrett is still only hitting 220. He's managed to hit, 1 home run in the entire month. In his last 39 at-bats, he's barely hitting 200. He's not slugging. It's time to move on from him. John Means still regressing, but still pitching okay. He's basically gone from elite to average. And average isn't good, but he still definitely has the tools to turn it around, and he definitely won't be carrying us through the playoffs like he did last year. That's for sure. And if we do end up having to move him to the pen, we can. The bullpen is still good enough. Got 3 rookies in here. Hagen Smith is playing really well right now, especially for a 25-year-old. Marcelo Mesa, the young 26-year-old, is pitching well. Pache is still great. Jimenez is still solid, and Cade Smith is still elite. Does have 5 blown saves already this year, which is less than ideal, but statistically, he's fantastic. So, there was a player I identified that I wanted to take a look at and potentially make a run at. The Cubs are having a terrible year, and they have a ton of depth in their outfield. They have a number of B and A potential guys. They, of course, have PCA, who can't hit the ball, but is one of the best defenders in the league. They have some other guys like Kevin Alcantara, Owen Casey, Walker Jenkins. But it looks like they decided to bring up Joey Loperfido, who is hitting well. He was hitting well in the minors when I was looking at him. He finally got the call up. He's 29 years old, so he's fairly old, but the hit tool's okay, but he plays a variety of positions. He plays good defense, has pretty good speed. We could also look at Justin Henry Malloy, who is really slow, not good as defensively, and only plays left field, but definitely has the hit tool. He's hit 20 home runs in the minors. OPS over 800. But I think we need to make a run at one of these guys. They're both 29 years old. But in 67 at bats, Loperfield is already hitting better than Stone Garrett. Already a positive WAR player. Looks like he's heading into his prime. And I think these are one of the guys that we're going to try and make a run at. So let's give the Cubs a call. I guess we could look at like a Walker Jenkins, who's not hitting well but has that higher potential. Or even Owen Casey. But again, is just not hitting particularly well. But they're younger. They have the same potential as both these guys. I tend to like Loperfido more just because he plays a more variety of positions. He has a well-balanced hit tool. Or we could go for Malloy with the power. The clutch rating's not good, but he can still get on base well enough. Just the defense, the speed is not good. Could we get them both? That's an option too. No, the team definitely needs some power. And he's gotten time in the big leagues and has performed relatively well. I think we go with Malloy, even though I do like Loperfido better. But right now, the team desperately needs some power. And this guy can bring it to us. Maybe at a lack of defense, but we stick him out in left field. You don't have to necessarily have elite defense there. And they're interested with just a swap. Stone Garrett for Malloy. If we add Loperfido, and then maybe like maybe one of these other C potential guys. Maybe throw in Azokar. He's 3 years older, has pretty much reached his potential, but just doesn't really have a place for us. Although very good defensively. That would get it over the line. So 2 older players for 2 slightly younger players. But the Cubs like it. I feel like just to sweeten it a little bit, we should probably add at least one more prospect here. Baroa is having a real tough time down in AAA. He's 28, so he still has plenty of years left. Maybe he can turn it around with the Cubs, who need a pitcher. And I think we will send this deal through. So we're actually going to get to pick and choose between Malloy and Loperfield, who's going to play at the big leagues. The Cubs get 2 outfielders and a pitching prospect to replace it. And that is going to be the deal that we sign right before the trade deadline. Which means Malloy with the power is going to immediately go on the 40-man and come up to the majors. Loperfield will go down. Well, I guess we don't have to. We could also look at bringing up Alec Thomas, who's now an 80 overall, is hitting really well. And maybe Roman Anthony goes back down to AAA because he's not hitting the ball. And we desperately need some offense. Despite the great defense, I think that's the move. Roman Anthony is going to go back down to AAA, try and sort it out there. We'll have Loperfido, Malloy, and Alec Thomas now coming up to the majors. So a little bit of a roster shakeup. I'm kind of bummed that Roman Anthony, he's definitely going to be our best prospect right now. Hopefully he can figure it out in AAA, get those hitting stats up, and then maybe he can come back up in September. But some fairly big roster shakeups going on. And with that, all right, so Alec Thomas will come in as well as Malloy. Again, we really need some power. So we'll throw him in here. Wow. Malloy's just slow as all hell, but he does have the slightly better defensive ratings than Oliver. So Oliver will continue to DH. We'll put we'll keep Ruiz in left. Alec Thomas will be in center field. Wish he had a little bit more speed, but that's okay. Malloy will be in right. And we'll just keep them at the bottom of the order for now. Kyle Teal is leading the team in home runs, so we need to move him up to like probably the 5th spot. That's fine. And Malloy, especially with that 70 power, we're going to hope that he can hit some dingers. Move Teal up. Feels weird to have Jazz hitting at 7th, though. All right. So that's how we'll look now. Actually, Julks plays way better defense. So we should probably have him in center field. Alec Thomas in right field. And Malloy will DH. So that actually works out better versus lefties. Okay. All right. Last couple opportunities to sign our draft picks here. Whitman is not close enough to sign, and I really want to get this potential rating locked in as close as we can with Holm before we try and sign him. The trade deadline, I think we've already made all we needed to do. Got to fix the AAA lineups. So Roman Anthony, let's see what you can do. He needs to be playing center field. Okay, sim one more day. Our last day to sign our draft picks. Whitman wants 665. We're offering him 669. That's the most we can offer him. And he declines. Jesus Christ. Outside that, we have Holland, who probably see potential. Which, for a starting pitcher, is not bad. We'll offer him the most we can. He does sign. So we miss out on one of our prospects. Probably the one highest potential guy that we could have. And let's see how we did. We end up taking one game versus the Yankees, but a tough stretch there, getting swept by Atlanta. Only winning 1 of 3 versus the Yankees. And then we'll play a full game versus Detroit with our new trade pieces. And drum roll, please, for the draft picks. It's not bad. It's not bad. Derek Whitman would have definitely had, likely would have had a potential, you would think. We'll never know, but he'll probably be in next year's draft. But Carlos Franco is a 92 potential starting pitcher at 23 years old. He's only a 60 overall, which is not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. He throws absolute gas, a four-seamer at 97, has a power slider at 90, a two-seamer and a changeup. A little short cane, though, 5'11". So we'll see how he progresses. Our first-round pick was Alexis Cabral, 18-year-old starting pitcher with 84 potential. That pitching clutch is absolutely abysmal. So that kind of scares me a little bit. But to my knowledge, there's no way to actually look at potential when you're scouting players. So there's no way we could have known. Other than that, he looks fine, 64 overall. But that pitching clutch is abysmal. Has absolutely no velo, which does not bother me. In the game, it doesn't really matter if you have velocity or not. Just matters about the per nines. Kenny Taylor is a closing pitcher we picked up in the second round. He's 21 years old with 82 potential and a 68 overall. He could probably be in the pen next year or close to it. The hit per nine, the K per nine are solid, especially the hit per nine, 83 hit per nine. As a reliever, you would like the clutch to be a bit higher, but again, another lefty we can throw in. He's likely going to be solid once, he gets to that 70, mid 70 overall. Of course, Carlos Franco, we already talked about. Then Alfonso Valido, the 18-year-old reliever, 62 overall with 76 potential. Limits home runs, has some strikeout ability, limits hits. The walk rate's a little low, the clutch is low. So, he's probably going to allow some in on base, but I don't know. We'll see how he plays out. And then Tom Hahn, starting pitcher with 72 potential, 62 overall. Not great. So, nothing really too exciting. We'll see how Franco develops. 92 potential is always really good. But he's already 23, so he probably won't hit the majors until he's in his late 20s, early 30s. I like the closing pitcher. I like Cabral. We'll just see how they develop. Take a quick look at the rest of the league and see how we fared. So we had 2 B potentials, an A potential, and 2 C potentials. Guardians don't really hit the mark, it looks like. The Tigers don't have anyone that looks like that's going to threaten us. Wow, Kansas City only 3 draft picks. They get 1 starting pitcher with 86 potential, but only a 59 overall. So he's still a long way from the majors. The Twins definitely missed towards the bottom of their board. A D potential and pretty much a D potential guy. Okay, Houston. So Ron Garrison, 21 years old, 91 potential, but is already a 77 overall. He looks really good. 93 stamina with a great walk per 9 rate and a pretty good hit per 9. He's going to be solid. Claude Blum out in left field. Long-term prospect, only 54 overall, but 88 potential. And a second baseman, Michael Long, 96 potential, but of course only 55 overall. Angels, nothing exciting. Carlos Rios, a catcher, 88 potential, has a great hit tool, can get on base. So he's actually not bad. Even though 58 overall is not good, he's really not that bad. He can hit at least. Enrique Santos, who was the guy that we had on our board, went to the Marlins, 87 potential, 64 overall. He looks like he's going to be really good. Juan Tapia, a closer, 70 overall, 95 potential. The closers are always good. So far, no generational or anything close to it. Brady Pierce, 87 potential, 68 overall for the Mets. Wow. The Phillies. Strike gold. They get a catcher with 92 potential, a closer with 92 potential, and a reliever with 88 potential, as well as a mid-B potential, mid-C potential player in there. There he is, little Dick Tucker. I mean, 5'11". The name speaks for itself, but the tiny lefty, he can hit the ball. He has great contact skills, great on base, great speed. He's going to be lethal on the base paths. Defense has a little bit of ways to go, but he's a solid player. Should have had my eye on that little dick. Vincent C. from Chinese Taipei. Definitely not Hong Kong. 98 potential, but only 59, 58 overall. So all in all, it looks like the draft for the most part was kind of a bust, just kind of a weak draft. All the high potential guys are very low overalls. Nothing really too exciting. So all in all, I feel pretty good about where we landed with our picks. Wow, Tampa Bay with a pretty good draft. This is probably the best one out of the bunch. Devin Corbett, 88 stamina. Great hit per 9, a walk per 9 already. 74 overall, 92 potential. But I think we can feel good. We got an A potential guy, 2 B potential players, a mid C, and our very last pick was a low C. That's not bad. I would have liked to have got Whitman. He probably had really high potential, but we'll probably see him in the draft next year. So a name to note, which I'll never remember because I have the memory of a goldfish. But we did the draft, we got our trades, and now we got to see if our players that we drafted for or that we traded for are going to make an impact. With that, let's go ahead and hop in. We'll have Noah Schultz on the mound. We're taking on a division rival in the Detroit Tigers, who are having a really tough year, bottom of the division, facing off against Ty Madden. Let's see what we can do. Get closer to that 500 range, get closer to that wild card spot. Noah Schultz on the mound. We got everyone in here that we need to. And the big thing that we'll be looking at is we're going to be looking at Alek Thomas to see how he plays at the major league level, and our new trade piece, Justin Henry Malloy. Would love to see him hit a dinger for us. So far, they are both off to a shockingly slow start. Feels good. Malloy only hitting 220. Alek Thomas only 143. We have no one in our lineup hitting over 300, which is a little concerning. It would be really sad if we won the World Series and then turned around and didn't even make the playoffs. But we got 2 months to go. So we'll see what we can do. interdivision matchup. All right, Ty Madden has started 20 games, has lost almost all of them. Only a 4-11 record. ERA at 5.16. WHIP is very high at 1.58. He looks terrible, and I love to see it. Let's see if we can dominate him. It's a good way to start. Garrett Hampson gets a piece, but the fly out to left on a hitting slider. Here's the lineup. It's not looking great. Although our 13th in the AL. Yeah, so that's not good. Just really highlighting our lack of power on the team. Good sweeper there. Got to try and lay off those if we can. Of all the players, Oliver's a guy we traded for a year or two ago. Started at 18 years old and has been very consistent. One of our best contact hitters, but goes down there. Fly out to right. Very quick inning so far for Madden. Only 4 pitches and 2 outs. Let's see if we can work a better at bat with Jazz as he hits this one hard. 101 off the bat, but grounded straight to second. That is a 6-pitch inning for Ty Madden. And our big lefty, Noah Schultz, right? He is the big guy, right? Yeah, the 6'9" lefty. He's having a good year. Not going to overpower you with velo. Name of the game is just try and keep the ball low. Try and get ground balls. And there is Malloy out and right. Able to field that one, but just drops into no man's land. Jefferson Rojas on with the leadoff single. Next opponent is Yohan Moncada.
That's a ball. That's a ball.
And he gets ahead on the count against Schultz. Try a front door slider. And he absolutely barrels it. Not a great start for Schultz. 2 batters, 2 hits, and no outs. Next is Colt Keith. We got that juicy lefty-lefty matchup. See if we can take advantage of that. And we do not. Although Malloy does make the catch, they send the runner. The relay throw is pretty close, but the runner is safe at third. What is Noah Schultz clutch rating? 55. Not great.
Runner! He's out.
Maybe should have gone home there, but we'll go ahead and take the out. But Detroit is going to take an early lead. And right now, they are just making contact with everything.
Ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Might see if these guys will be willing to chase a little bit, but so far Trey Sweeney will not. That was an incredibly close take. But we get him anyway. Sweeney goes down swinging. We leave a runner stranded, but early lead for Detroit. They're not a good team. We should expect to beat them. So let's see what we can do here. We got 4, 5, 6 in our order coming up. Starting with Tristan Casas. The average has climbed a lot in the last month. Now hitting 265, OPS over 800. See if we can get on one here. Okay.
2-0.
Madden may be pitching around him a little bit. Back-to-back balls to start us off. That one hit fairly hard, but foul. Good sweeper in on the hands. Gets Costas to swing at what would have been ball 3. And now the count is even at 2-2. But that one is toast. An absolute nuke from Tristan Costas. 111 off the bat. And just like that, the score is tied. Ladies and gentlemen, pack your bags. Next stop, Pound Town. 470 feet to the batter's eye. We got ourselves a run. Bop! Madden knew as soon as it hit the bat, threw his arms up in the air. That thing was almost over the batter's eye. That was an absolute blast. And that is exactly what we need from one of our best power hitters. We desperately need that in our lineup.
No, that's a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Could we go back-to-back with Kyle Teal? Our one All-Star of the year. And he's going to get at least a single here with a hard liner out to right. Much better inning than our last, as we so far have a run and a single. And now Villar. It's the guy I really have my eye on, hoping for big things to come. Having a career year for him. Still relatively young and new in the big leagues.
Ball 1.
And it looks like Ruiz will ground into a double play. Can't leg that one out, but we get one across the board via Tristan Casas and a giant blast. 470 feet to dead center. And let's see if Noah Schultz can get us going in the right direction here. Had a number of base runners. And did give up the 1 run in the first inning.
No.
And we've just seen some really patient at-bats
3 balls, 2 strikes.
from Detroit.
Take your base.
That's just 4 incredible takes. And the first walk for Noah Schultz. Hopefully we can get a little double play ball here or a strikeout.
0-2. Nope, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
These pitches are all just so close. Give me that. He went. Apparently he did not.
Three and 2.
Wow. You get absolutely hosed by the umpire there. Not walking back-to-back pitchers. Challenge fastball. Getting squeezed. And Pareda is absolutely dialed in, fouling off everything. But we still managed to turn the double play. Great range from Jazz. Gets the flip to second and the preceding throw to first. A long at bat from Pareda, but eventually it works out in our favor. So 2 up, now 2 down. And Alex Verdugo, the 32-year-old, having a tough season. And that one will land foul. And finally we get a swing and miss on the inside fastball. Second strikeout for Schultz and a scoreless inning for Detroit. Back up here with Alek Thomas, getting his chance at the big leagues, but off to a little bit of a slow start. He's got good ratings. He should hit well. And was hitting really well in the minors. But is out in front of the splitter. That one hit hard and manages to get through the infield. So a leadoff single for Alek Thomas. Okay. Now he's got some pretty decent speed as well. Justin Henry Malloy. Take another look at him. 6'1", 212. Was absolutely raking in the minors. Had 20 home runs so far this year. Has good power. Maybe not the best contact skills, but when he connects, that ball should go a long ways. He's got that like Jacob Wilson waggle when he's up at the plate. Just constantly moving. And he does hit that one pretty hard, but it is going to be a double play. Unfortunately, he is also a very good double play candidate. Only like 40 speed. And the leadoff singles wipe off the board. Now 2 outs for Garrett Hampson, back to the top of the lineup. But Hampson's going to get a single. And maybe we have a little 2-out rally going. Just keep making Ty Madden work. Only 28 pitches here in the third. And Ollie's going to send this one high and deep out on the right. That one's going to find the gap. 1 hops, 2 hops off the wall. Hampson with great speed is already at home plate. And that's an RBI double for Oliver. Hampson able to go first to home. Off the gapper from Rick Oliver. That's what I'm saying. Just doesn't hit a ton of home runs. Doesn't have elite power. But can find a gap. And that's sometimes all you need. That gives us the lead here in the third.
No ball. 1 strike.
And the unfortunately struggling Jazz Chisholm at the plate. Wow. Gave that one a ride. 112 off the bat, but just couldn't straighten it out. And goes down on the inside slider. Good pitch by Madden. Jazz fans, but we do have a lead. As we take a look at our pitching for the last month, ERA was not good. Close to the bottom of the league at 4.37. This was something that was a strength for us. And probably an area where we need to find
No ball. 2 strikes.
some really high-end talent. We have some good B and A potential guys farther down. But we have just a ton
That's a ball.
of young B potential guys, which is more than enough to get a solid rotation. You get 5 pitchers that are all 85 overall plus, I think you can expect to do some damage, as that is now the 4th K for Noah Schultz. Back-to-back punchies for the big lefty. Much better start at the top of the order than in the first, when we saw them first round. But falls behind Yohan Moncada. And we just cannot get a call at the top of the zone. There's really nothing else to say about it. That's a hanging changeup right down the middle of the plate. Yohan Moncada hits it back up the middle for a single. Now I just need Noah Schultz. I need him to just locate with this fastball. Having a real hard time getting ahead in the count. But luckily, we have Garrett Hampson at short, one of the best defenders in the league. And he's able to gobble up that ground ball and chuck it over to first. For out number 3. And back up with Tristan Costas, 1-for-1 with a giant piss missile in his first at-bat.
1 ball, no strike.
Let's see what he can do here. That one driven high and deep out into center field, but it will be caught on the run and at the track. Good swing, but not nearly as good as his last. Good timing, but only 95 off the bat instead of 111. As was his home run ball. Our 2028 World Series MVP and lone all-star for the team, Kyle Teal, swinging at ball 2, but now 0-2 in the count. That one absolutely ripped out to right. That is another single for Kyle Teal. He's now 2 for 2 and gives us a runner with 1 out here in the 4th. If we could hit a high fastball, I think we'd be one of the best offenses in the league. We see this every single game. Good timing on the high fastball. But can't ever get the barrel to the... Just something about the game for whatever reason. Wow, Villar absolutely fanning there. That splitter from Madden has been really effective today. You should probably throw it some more. I mean, again, we find ourselves in an 0-2 count. Didn't matter for Kyle Teal, who proceeded to smoke one out to right. Oh, and a pass ball there. That should be able to get Kyle Teal to second, and it does. Even though he is a catcher, he still has decent speed, can play the outfield if we needed him to. And Villar's worked himself back to an even 2-2 count. And that was the pitch to do damage with. Absolutely smoked, but foul. Gets a piece on that slider inside part of the plate. Still battling. 7th pitch of the at-bat. And that one driven high and deep out to right. We are going to try and run on that. And we get Teal over to third. And our best clutch hitter on the team is at the plate. Ruiz hitting 240, but 98 clutch rating. And there it is, right on cue. Pulls one out to left. We get another one across. It is a 3-1 lead here in the fourth. Fastball right down the middle. And now Alec Thomas. If he could get hot, he could be a big player for us. Has the skills for it, is 1 for 1 today. And again, absolutely raked in the minors. Definitely earned the call up. Might be looking at a walk here. Ruiz able to steal second with ease. And we got ourselves in a full count here. And Alec Thomas sends this one right back up the middle. Ruiz with great speed is going to get home easily. And that is an RBI single for Thomas. So far, so good. 2 for 2 on the day with an RBI. And now a 4-1 lead for the White Sox.
No, that's a ball.
Really excited for Malloy. Was really excited when I saw his minor league stats. Cubs had him down in AAA, despite hitting 250 plus with 20 plus home runs, close to a 900 OPS. If he can replicate that here in the majors, he could be a big part of our success. The dogs are cheering him on. I'm sure you can hear them in the background, as that is back-to-back foul balls for Malloy. Another one, but we're late. Just gets a piece of the splitter. Would have been ball 4. Really good at bat. 8th pitch here. But swings right through a slider, right down the middle of the plate. That would have been one to do damage with. Still have yet to see him with those contact skills, but it's still very early on in his Chicago White Sox career. We still get a number of hits. We get a few runs across. We got a 4-1 lead for Noah Schultz. And this is where, as a coaching staff, we tell our players, you have a lead, you need to use it.
Ball. 2-1.
Try and challenge these batters.
Yeah. Out.
And there is out number 1. Will be a tough play for Villar. Floating at the wall, but cannot make the play. Let's try the sweeper.
No.
Not something we utilize much. And that second one grounded to first. Casas fields it cleanly. 2 up, 2 down for Schultz.
No ball. 1 strike. 1-2.
Gonna have to be a little bit more competitive than that around the zone.
Ball outside.
Like that. That's a crazy take from Perez there. Chance to see some defense from Malloy as he closes in. And that's part of the game I'm also a little concerned with. He's very slow. Does not typically get a good jump off the bat, but won't have to make a play there. Perez goes down. That's going to be, I think, the 5th K for Noah Schultz. Another scoreless inning. And Ty Madden's day is done. It is going to be Nabil Crimsmith, who is having a good year. 78 1/3 innings, sub-3 ERA. And he will face off against the top of our lineup. And he gets the 1 pitch out. Oliver on an absolute tear last 7 games, hitting .345, 1 for 2 today with an RBI. But goes down there on the ground ball. And Jazz will go down as well, or not. This one thrown way over the head of the defender at first. It's going to be an E6, and Jazz is going to be standing on second. Just absolutely airmails this one. Heads up base running by Jazz. And now we got Casas. Chance to do some damage. Hanging changeup. Good timing, just can't get a piece. Despite being out for over a month, Casas leads the team in home runs with only 13.
2 balls, 1 strike.
On pace for about 20, which is not what we were hoping for when we signed him in free agency this last offseason. Okay. Working a decent enough at-bat here. Worked himself into a full count. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming in. And swings right through a changeup. So again, our big power hitters just struggling with guys and running in scoring position. Okay. Got a dog that's hounding me for some pets. All right. Schultz, 66 pitches.
That's out the corner.
We just cannot get some of these pitches to land. But some more swing and miss. Noah Schultz, strikeouts not really part of his game, but he has 6 today.
Ball, high. Ball.
None of these lefty batters will go after these sliders off the plate. What in the... Okay. I don't really know what Tristan Casas was doing there. He couldn't field it. And then, for some reason, threw it 5 feet in the air. As Noah Schultz was covering first.
0-1.
Really strange play, but we get the out, and that's all that matters. That's not actually a ball, Mr. Umpire. But Jesus Sanchez is going to get on. Now he gets past two of our best infield defenders there. Now it's going to be Jefferson Rojas. Hitting .357 in only 12 at-bats. Okay. So very early on in his MLB experience, but hitting really well so far. Let's see what we can do here. Another strikeout for Schultz. He's going to get through 5. We will go to the pin, though, and start getting some arms warmed up. Let's get Hagen Smith warmed up and a righty. How about Gibbet? Actually, let's get Marcelo Mesa up. We have yet to pitch with him. We brought him up after we shipped away Ben Joyce. And he's been really good. So let's see if we can get him some action and see what he's all about. Kyle Teal unable to reach first as he flies out. And so we will now see Villar. Oh for 2 today, and that will continue. Ball hit hard, but it's a line out to second. Something like I feel we see consistently with him when we're using games is he typically makes really good contact, hits the ball hard, but just can't really ever get it to find grass.
1 ball, no strike.
But again, we're in a position now where, you know, we're a team that's got younger after winning a World Series. Looking for some guys to step up, show some development, show some growth.
Ball 2. 2 and 1. Two and 2.
Late. Hey.
Count's full.
Dogs are going crazy today. What are you barking at, buddy? Yeah. Full count for Ruiz. And he's going to have a 2 for 2 day. Another gapper. Great speed is just now fielded. Takes a big turn at second, but ultimately holds up. If that would have been a gap out to right field, that could have been a chance at a triple. His 20th double of the year. And Alec Thomas, 2 for 2 today.
No ball, 1 strike.
Love to get him hot.
1 ball, 1 strike.
As you see there, we acquired him from Arizona back in 2027. I believe that was the trade that sent Jock Peterson to the Diamondbacks. All right. So the lead stays at 3 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Up. 0 and 1.
Gonna try and get Noah Schultz through this inning. It's a good start. 2 pitches and an out on Yohan Moncada.
Nope, ball 1.
Getting
1-0.
squeezed by this umpire today. And Costas again with the lazy 5-foot flip in the air over to first. I don't know why we get that animation. It's so funny. It's like, bloop. I mean, it works. Just barely. And that's another out.
No ball. One
I mean, these Detroit hitters just do not want to swing at the first pitch.
ball.
And that one hit hard, but no problem for Alec Thomas. Camped out under it. Noah Schultz is going to go 6 strong, only allowing 1. It's a great start. Let's see if our bullpen can come in and shut it down. And we will go to Marcelo Mesa. First look at him. As you can see, the hit per 9 is off the charts at 97. Other than that, it's not great. But he's a guy that should be able to keep people off the base paths. As we are now facing off against Brendan Hanafy. He's got a sinker, a slider, a four-seamer, and a changeup to work with. There's the slider. Just catches the bottom part of the plate. Okay. Malloy fighting. He's making contact on some of these really difficult pitches. But goes down there. Really good slider. Right on the edge of the zone. And a ground out for Hampson. Come on, Ollie. 1 for 3 today. Had a big RBI double.
0-1. Ball.
And obviously 88 contact versus righties. Has the ability to do some damage. That one could have been a home run. Something we saw from him last year. How's he doing this year? 12 home runs last year, only 7 this year. Obviously not prodigious power, only 48 power versus righties, but when he gets some good clean contact, he can do some damage. Will not do anything here though. Is that one fouled behind the plate and caught. And now we will get our first look. User controlling Marcelo Mesa. Having a great year, 20 1/3, 3.1 ERA. The strikeout rate is just not really there, but that's just not his game. He is the definition of a contact hitter. Just throw the ball in the zone. He's got good velocity. He can challenge batters up in the top of the zone.
No ball. 1 strike. 0-1.
Try and use that to our advantage.
Ball.
Pair that with a slider. But this one is going to bloop into left. Ruiz unable to charge in and get it. And this is where we can run into some problems with Mesa.
0-1.
The clutch rating is pretty low.
0-2.
So we really can't afford to have runners in scoring position. Which will not happen here. And that is 2 away. And now 3 away. Ruiz seeing a lot of action. Puts away 2 there. And now it's going to be the big lefty AJ Puck. Former Athletic. I think spent some time with the Mariners. Yep, with Miami, then Arizona, Texas, back to Arizona, and then now with Detroit. Throws absolute gas. And now we'll see what Jazz can do against him. First pitch is fastball painted on the inside part of the plate. And then Jazz reaching out for another fastball away. Not really having the most patient at-bats here.
Ball. One ball, no strike. Ball.
Much better right now from Tristan Casas as he lets two go by.
Ball three.
Make that 3. Puck cannot find the zone. And we might be auto-taking here.
Yes.
That one pretty close.
Stay.
Good slider, good timing,
Ball. Two
but
strikes.
located really well. And Costas can't get a piece. Somehow manages to pop this one up,
Foul ball.
and that one just falls fair, or foul. Good sinker. I can't believe he even got that one close to in play. Goes down on the hard inside fastball. Really close. Could have taken it.
No ball, one strike.
And AJ Puck right now just working the inside of the plate against these lefty batters.
That's the ball.
Ill-advised swing there from Kyle Teal. He pops that one up. And that is a clean inning for Puck. Second inning of work for Mesa.
Huh. 0-1.
It will be time to get Cade Smith up, as this is still technically a save situation.
Yep, he's out.
And this is pretty much the game for Mesa. Throw strikes, get ground balls, or fly balls. Malloy with a good snag there. That one very easily could have blooped in, but he makes the play.
Strike. Woo. No ball, two strike. No, that's a ball.
Really close take from Moncada. But a line out to Jazz. That's a very quick 1-2-3 inning. 2 solid innings of work out of the pen for him. We'll go ahead and schedule Cade Smith in, as we will face off against AJ Puck once again. Villar is 0 for 3,
1-0.
but does hit lefties pretty well. Unfortunately, another pop-up for him. Now Ruiz, though, absolutely crushes lefties. And he runs really well. It's going to be a close play, and he's able to leg that one out. Hit it just weakly enough
ball, no strike.
That the second baseman couldn't get to it.
Ball.
Alec Thomas, not particularly good versus lefties. We could sub in Jolks, but Thomas is having a good day at the plate. He's 2 for 3.
Hey.
And we are going to send Ruiz for a steal here.
He's going. Safe.
And he's going to get on second. Eliminates the double play. Wow. It'd be nice if we got those calls. That's a good take. But Puck gets the call. And now it's going to be Malloy.
No, that's a ball.
Who does hit lefties better than righties. Unfortunately, that clutch rating leaves something to be desired. Well, let's see if he can get on one. He's hitting 300 plus with runners in scoring position. And he hits one high into the night sky here in Detroit, but caught. So another scoreless inning. Now it's going to be Cade Smith
No, that's high.
to close this one out. Does have 5 blown saves this year that we saw. I mean,
2 balls, no strike.
this is very frustrating that we're not getting those calls, but
Hey. 2
we've
balls,
seen Detroit get those.
strike.
Okay. Easy ground ball out for Jazz. No problem there. 1 up, 1 down. And Ty France goes down swinging. A punchy for Smith. And 1 out away from another save on his line for the year.
Strike one.
It's going to be Trey Sweeney. And a great snag from Villar. Up on his feet. The throw to first is in time. And that's going to be a very close but well-deserved win for the team. Malloy did not excite. Hopefully he can turn it around and get those same numbers that we saw in AAA that we traded him for. The nice thing is compared to Stone Garrett, who he's replacing, he doesn't have to do a lot in order to beat him. So, as long as he hits better than Stone Garrett, then we know he came out ahead, at least for this year. Great day for Ruiz, goes 3 for 4 with a double and an RBI. Casas hit the 470-foot blast. Kyle Teal goes 2 for 4. Noah Schultz, really solid day on the mound, goes 6 innings, 7 Ks, 4 hits, 1 walk, and only 1 earned run. But outside of that, he was great. Bullpen came in and shut it down. All right. We'll sim a little bit ahead, see if we get some moments as we sweep Detroit, which I think we should, onto our Kansas City rivals, who are number 1 in the division. Some updates from the minors. I guess we can take a look and see how our minor leaguers are doing. John Means is kind of getting it together. He's got that ERA under 4. The whip is still low. Cannon is finding it in AAA. Jerpy's looking good. So we have some options come September. Called up Greg Marks in AA. He's getting absolutely shelled. You hate to see it. Owen White's definitely going to be a candidate to be brought up during September call-ups. Hitting a 75 overall. Can also start if we need him to with 72 stamina. He's doing really well in the minors. So is Xavier Curry, who struggled really mightily at the major league level, but is dominating AAA. Corey Lee, Edgar Caro, all doing really well. We might send Henry Davis down. He doesn't get many opportunities, to be fair, but when he does, he doesn't take advantage. Sussick, Copeland, who we found just sitting in free agency, is not very good, to be fair, but, hitting well enough down in AA. Villar is kind of making a jump. Like to see that slugging percentage go up a little bit, but he's proven to be a great draft pick. Jazz is just really struggling versus righties this year, which is supposed to be his bread and butter. Had a career year last year with 36 home runs. Is going to be nowhere close to that this year. Almost doubled his at-bat per home run rate. Julk's still hitting well. At 33, he's hanging in there. Hello. Loperfito's gotten a couple at bats with us. Is hitting really well. We can always sub him in for Malloy. Merced is actually looking really good too. He could get a call up. But no need to rush it. Anthony Roman in AAA is still struggling to hit the ball. Okay, so really no need to make any big moves at the minors. And we get a sweep. Back-to-back sweeps of division opponents is huge. Absolutely massive. What happened in this game? Ruiz went 4 for 5. Ollie was 3 for 6. Casas 1 for 3. Kyle Teal went 5 for 5. And then Garrett Hampson, Malloy 0 for 5. And Loperfito went 2 for 4. Home runs from Ruiz and a 2 home run day for Kyle Teal. Jazz with a triple and a bunch of doubles. Jake Eder pitched really well. 5 innings, 10 strikeouts, and no earned. Iriarte pitched 3 2/3 after that, allowed 3. But that is a dominant performance. But I think that's where we'll call it for today. Yeah, we hit the 2.5 hour mark. I got some errands, unfortunately, I have to run. So next episode, We'll have the Twins that we can play against, another run against Kansas City, Seattle, who we saw in the playoffs last year, having another good year. So a pretty tough schedule ahead for the month of August. September looks like we'll be facing off some weaker teams. So if we can finish out this month strong, I think we could be in a really good position facing some weaker opponents next month to lock in a wild card appearance. We're still 2 games out, but if we can beat the Twins in these next series, we could flip-flop with them. Let's take another look at our lineup. Alek Thomas coming in and hitting .375 with 2 home runs already in just 24 at-bats. Kyle Teal is blazing hot right now with 14 home runs. As well as Jazz, Casas. I'm liking what I'm seeing. We're getting hot at the right time. Loper Fido is, for some reason, has 84 at-bats compared to Malloy's 30. And he's already got some really good numbers. I think versus righties, what we'll do is we'll mix it up a little bit. We'll get Loper Fido in versus righties. We'll have Malloy versus lefties because he's got that power and that contact. Kyle Teal is just kind of on another level. I feel like we got to move him up the lineup as well. And we'll see how we go. Lineup's looking good. The rotation is looking good. I'm really happy to see John Means. I just want him to at least finish out this year. We're paying him $24 million. So if we could just get him to pitch well, then I think we'd be in a good spot. The rest of the rotation's looking good. Uriarte is struggling, but could turn it around. Hagen Smith, who we player locked, and he looked really good. He's really close to making it to the rotation. And we might look to maybe swap him and Means, lefty for lefty. The rest of the bullpen is solid. I think we're in a good spot. But that'll be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let's take one more look at our draft picks here. Had a good draft. Made a big trade to bring in 2 new outfielders. And had some good wins. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you're new and enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys next one. Thanks a lot.